As a teenager, I feel like I'm always hungry. Luckily, I'm able to grab a snack whenever I want. But did you know that every night, 795 million people around the world go to bed hungry? By hungry, I mean chronically undernourished or starving. That means 1 out of every 9 people suffer a constant hollowness in their stomachs, not knowing when the next meal will be for themselves, their families, or their children. I wondered why so many people are starving in a world of plenty. So I did some research and found the issue to be extremely complex. When you look at all the factors that contribute to world hunger, such as poverty, inequality, food waste, policy, and regulations, it becomes overwhelming. So I decided to focus on one specific question. Can reducing the amount of meat you eat help to sustainably feed the growing population? It turns out the answer is yes. Let's take a look at why. Have you ever thought about how much actually goes into the meat you eat? If you eat a pound of beef, taking into account all the resources that went into the burger sitting in front of you, you're really eating 12 pounds of grain, 2,500 gallons of water, 35 pounds of topsoil, and the amount of energy equal to a gallon of gasoline. Actually, a third of the grains we produce is fed to livestock rather than people. If you took everything that was fed to livestock, in just rich nations, we would have 100 to 200% of all the calories necessary to feed the world. Also, 30% of our land is used to raise livestock, some of which could be used to produce food that goes directly to people. So by reducing the amount of meat we produce, we conserve resources, which can then be used to grow more food and just reduce waste in general. Farming livestock also contributes to climate change. And in the long run, climate change will reduce crop yields and make it more difficult to grow certain crops, which will especially impact small-scale farms in developing countries. Nearly a third of our land is occupied by livestock. To make room for all that cattle, many trees and forests had to be removed. Forests take in atmospheric CO2, one of the main greenhouse gases responsible for global warming. When the trees are removed to create farmland, they can no longer take in that CO2. The cows that graze in the pastures aren't any better. They produce methane, a greenhouse gas 30 times more potent than CO2. Let's do a quick recap. 1 out of 9 people around the world are starving and malnourished. The extremely inefficient production of meat wastes precious resources and contributes to climate change, both of which contribute to world hunger. Global meat consumption is on the rise, as is our world population. But if we want a sustainable way to feed the world, those of us who have plenty to eat have to take action. One easy way is to cut down on the amount of meat you eat. I know that people love meat, including myself, and it is an important part of many people's cultures, so I'm in no way suggesting that everyone should be a vegetarian. I simply ask you to try Meatless Monday.